Hello, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Doodle. Thanks for being here as usual. We'll give it a minute, see if we get anybody trickling in.
Hi, Duty Head. Hi, Mama Bear.
Hi, Mama. Thanks for coming in. So, Doodle, I made a little something a second ago, like literally right before I jumped on. I'm going to play it in a second. She sent me the cutest little things. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. If you're like me, it's just another week with stuff to do.
Well, the good news is tomorrow's Wednesday and we're off Thursday, so that's always a good thing.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm celebrating on Saturday. I think we are all going to the river with my dad and doing the sandbar thing and the boating and the cooking out and the watermelon fights. We're notorious for watermelon fights on the river. Not summer in Florida until you have one.
Oh, nice, Mama
Nice.
Bear.
Nice. I know you're looking forward to it. You've been working a lot, lady.
Hey, Big Sexy.
The way you said that, Kimber, is so
I
funny.
know. I was just like,
Well,
hey,
hello,
Big
Big Sexy.
Sexy.
Let's all practice talking to Big Sexy. People have some of the most creative names, right? Hey, how are you, Farq, Farq? How do you, see? I never know how to pronounce that either.
Farq.
Farq.
Hey, Farq.
That's just fun to say. Come on, Farq. It really is fun to say, isn't it?
It's very fun to say.
I like fun words, especially fun words that sound funny. We'll give it a few more minutes, guys, to see if anybody else comes in before we start going over some more of these documents and having some conversations. I've been seeing still a lot of intense conversations going on about Jennifer Soto and the things we've all been reading. You don't see a Big Sexy.
Well, Big Sexy may have just came through and left. Wait a minute. Hold up.
I'm scared to look at Big Sexy's profile picture any
Give me a
closer.
minute. Hold on. Hold up.
Who is Big Sexy?
I'm, I'm gonna. Give me a minute.
Doodle, I don't know why anybody would block you. Like, you don't do anything.
Oh, no, 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 no.
We're, okay, I don't know what Kimber's trip was, guys, but she just started screaming, no, 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 and she disappeared on me. Right, Mama? Okay, she's back. Let's see. I'm scared to have her back. Girl,
Help
what the
me.
hell?
No,
What
no.
the hell? You're like, no, 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 and then you were just gone. I'm like, bat signal time or what?
Um, yeah.
What are you doing, Kimber?
Um, hold on. I'm typing something to you.
Quit multitasking over there.
There you go. Read that.
Oh, okay. I know, Kimber. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Get some. Get some. I
uh,
screenshotted it and oh my God.
why would you do that, Kimber?
I'll never do that a freaking again.
I gotta, man, we cannot show you pictures. You be wanting to go in no matter what.
I did look at the icon Mama Bear, and then I clicked the wrong button, fell out of the
Girl,
chat.
she said,
Lord
girl.
have mercy. Oh my God. I was like, Rutherford,
I
what
don't
the
mean
fuck
any
you?
offense, but I did not find that sexy, big sexy.
No, I'm sorry, big sexy.
But we still cool. Whatever. You do you, boo.
You have whatever picture you want for your.
Yeah, I don't have to look. I got on glasses anyway. I can't see half the shit I'll look at, so
I just will never, ever, ever do that
can't
again.
see it. Don't screenshot certain things, Kimber. You just sometimes don't need to know.
Nope. Some things are better left unsaid
And unseen,
and unseen. Unsaid and unseen.
unsaid, and
Sometimes
unseen. Damn it.
I'm just glad I didn't pull my glasses down.
Okay,
All right, I'm
I
good.
don't know who Big Sexy is, but if you're going to be in the chat chilling with us, you need to unblock my mod because that's not cool. I don't even know what the heck that's about, but yeah, we're just going to
Hello,
do it right
wisdom
from the
love.
get-go.
Hello, butterfly.
Hello, Butterfly. I was kind of waiting on you to trickle on in, hun, before we got started.
Yeah, it's
Hello,
not nice to
Wisdom.
block the mod. You can't block the mod.
Not over here. I'm not doing all that craziness. I ain't got time for that shit. Oh, is he visiting, Butterfly?
I don't know how they could block a mod.
We're only going to be about an hour and a half tonight. I do have someone else is hosting a live stream, I think at 8:15 that I really want to go in and be a part of. So I'm going to make sure we wrap it up here by at least 8 o'clock. If not, I've only got like 4.5 hours left on my stream until the 14th. So I think I need to pay for some StreamYard so I can talk a lot more than I do.
When we go back to Dagos, I'll see if I can block Doodle. I mean,
What?
see if I can block them on.
Oh, yeah. I think you can block anybody you want. I'm assuming. Hell, I don't know. Do need to get into a meeting with you guys, though, and there's some things that Mama needs to fill me in on, and Doodle's got to help me out on a few things. I want to make sure Doodle can drop links for everybody in here and do all the things. So I am really trying to get to that point. And we're a small channel with, we don't need a ton of mods up in here. I don't want to have more mods than I do community members. So right now we are rolling.
You can block a mod. She should be able to drop links now as it is, because if she's a mod, she can drop links.
That's what I thought. Good.
Mom just blocked Doodle.
What?
She said, "Oh crap, you can block a mod." She just blocked Doodle. I guess she unblocked
Oh,
her.
yeah, because that's a big deal over in other streams. You're all like, your mods are blocking this drama crap. Jesus Christ, we're freaking adults. Come over here and we're gonna talk and be civil. There ain't no reason.
That's what a lot of the rooms do that get. Oh, she didn't click block. She just clicked on it to see. But that's what a lot of the rooms that get heavy trolls do. That the trolls will come in and they'll block the mods first.
Yeah, well, if I have a mod in here and they notice they can't see a certain somebody, that I'll just handle it. I don't need to announce stuff live on the air and all that crap. I just do what I do and be done. Honestly, if you don't create that environment, it probably won't happen. So we should be okay.
Enjoy your time with your son, Butterfly.
Yes. You can catch the replay, hun. We'll do another segment another night or two from now, but it's good to see you, and you go and enjoy that child all you can. It's always nice when the kids can visit when they don't live near you. My kids live near me, thank goodness. My sister's not so lucky. We left off on like page 347 was where we were going to pick up at, but I kind of was skimming through them, and there's really nothing in those first few pages that we don't already know, or it's just a formality report page with some officers signing off on things. All right, Butterfly, you enjoy your evening, hun, and we'll chat with you later. Doodle, I got an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, and a 10-year-old here pretty much at all times. Right now, there's only two of them, the 8 and the 10-year-old. I feel your pain. And they're boys. They're two little girls on top of that. Got a house full. They're not mine, though.
Are you having a sleepover? Are they sleeping over?
Probably. She's probably having her grandson a sleepover. Now, you got to think of things for all them kids to do. Keep them occupied. And kids are very funny. Kids love me. I love kids as long as they being good. It's summer. I have a tent in the living room. There you go. You keep them occupied. I always was doing that kind of stuff with my kids. We just do whatever. Build tents, do all kind of fun stuff. Get out and play. I'm looking forward to Saturday. I haven't had a day on the river since spring, since last year. Sitting in this damn house all winter long, looking at the cold weather and shit. I'm ready to get out and enjoy myself. Got to be around the water though in Florida, or you might not survive. Okay, this is just yeah. I mean, well, you know what? Today was another humid day, but that's just par for the course here in Florida. It is what it is. But on those days we don't have a super high humidity, it feels so good out there. Even though it's hot, the humidity makes a huge difference. I'm so used to this Florida heat. I'm just glad that big ass hurricane ain't coming anywhere near us up here in the Gulf. It's staying down there and going to hit toward Mexico. I mean, I hate it for anybody it comes after because that's a monster, but I don't want it for sure. I probably wouldn't be sitting here now if it was real close one out there. I'd be all preparing and shit. So this is page 351, and it's another case supplemental report.
Are you going to show it?
Yeah. That would be nice again, wouldn't it? Let me see. I always forget that part. Like I just assume y'all can see everything. Oh, what's it got up here twice? Let me see. Now, can you guys see that okay? Because I can adjust things. I don't know if that's better or worse. If somebody wants to let me know. I'm on my PC looking at this, so I can see it really good. I just don't know how you guys are viewing it and if you can see okay. Okay. So, February 27, 2024, at approximately 22:09, the Kissimmee Police Department responded to the apartment in reference to a mutual aid with Orange County Sheriff's Office. The Orange County Sheriff's Office is working on a missing persons case that initiated in their jurisdiction. Under their investigation, the Orange County Sexual Assault Unit joined their investigation to assist the sexual allegations that were discovered. The Orange County Sexual Assault Unit drafted a DNA warrant along with an arrest warrant for Stefan Michael Stearns. However, after further investigation, it was discovered that the incident location of the sexual battery occurred in Kissimmee Police Department's jurisdiction. The investigation was then transferred over to Detective Mark Morris as the lead detective. Detective Moore, and his ID number, was provided with Orange County's drafted warrants to transfer over into our format in order to submit the warrants through the e-warrant system. I submitted both DNA and arrest warrants, which were approved and signed by the judge. I went to Osceola Communications Center and had the arrest warrant entered. Stefan was transported by Orange County deputy to the Osceola jail. And we've seen that footage of him being transported from one jail to the other or transferred over. So basically that's what that was, a report. So it did get two different warrants, one for his DNA and then one for him as well. So when they arrested him, they swabbed him and got his DNA, and they transferred everything over to the KPD. And there are still a bunch of people trying to figure out where Jennifer Soto is. There's a big debate going on in this really. I found a pretty cool Reddit group that I joined. I don't say anything in it. Well, I made one comment, but it was about a Florida law. But I read a lot of it, and there's some really intelligent conversations going on with this case, and just the different roles and things it could be, and it's
Also,
mind-boggling.
Dago's backstage.
There he is. Hello, our friend.
Hello, dear.
Hello.
Oh my God, does that big sexy sneaking in on us?
Yes.
You better say no because, oh my God. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
Lord, we had a character in here a minute ago, but I think he's gone.
Okay. Well,
I hope he's gone.
I just wondered how you knew. I mean, if you look at my title, my name, that's right on point. Damn.
No, we had somebody in here named Big Sexy, and I noticed the profile picture, and I didn't want to see it up close and personal, but Kimber apparently did, and she did discover it was a nude picture.
Oh, good Lord. These people have mental health issues.
Tell me about it.
Good God. Well, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to plant tomato plants for my wife real quick. So sorry about
Oh
that.
no, we're just getting started. I love some good tomato plants.
Yes. Big, what the hell are they? They're called big boys. They make these giant flipping tomatoes that are great for sandwiches. So big slice.
Look at Doodle. She said, "Yeah, oh, Big Sexy didn't want no part of this. Ha ha ha. He must have been big nasty."
Probably
Can you hear
Doodle
me?
probably eat him for breakfast.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, this is so weird. I've been sitting here talking on my mic with my headset, and I've been listening through the computer and not the earpieces. I'm like, why does this sound different? And I just realized what I was doing.
Oh my God.
Computer and not
Oh,
the-
guys, please.
How many gummies have you had?
Why does this sound not enough? I realized what I was doing.
Make sure you're hitting that like button, peepos, and share it out, please.
I'm not all echoey, am I?
No, you sound great,
sound
actually.
good.
Okay, I didn't make sure I didn't hit the wrong button. Now I
Sure.
can hear you guys better as well. I'm like, why can't I? I already know I'm deaf in one ear, but like I couldn't hear shit.
Where's
All
Mom
right.
at tonight?
I don't know. I sent her the link earlier in case she was able to join us. I don't know where she's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just getting started, Dago, and I was telling everybody about how I've been the conversations we've had here as we go through this stuff about Jen and the conversations. I'm sorry, Big Sexy, stop it. So the conversations that I'm hearing on Reddit are in line with the things that we're all thinking. You know what I mean? People that
Right.
are discussing her possibility of a role or not a role, and where she's at right now. You know, that's still a big question.
Yes.
I noticed they cracked on here. What is this? Hold on. Kissimmee Police Department electronic incident report, sexual battery from Nevins.
Baker Act. Oh boy.
Well, Baker Act's in Florida and Merchman Act, and I don't know for that to happen. I don't believe Jim was Baker acted. Her family would have to do it, but it's a 3-day hold normally. I think this is just so. Let me affidavits booking. It's just listed on here as one of the standard things. I guess you could check if it's pertained to this or whatever. I don't think anybody was actually Baker acted in this case.
We'd have probably heard about that.
Yeah, it would be in the documents, especially for Florida. But we have some pretty specific Baker Act rules here.
Mm-hmm.
It can be easy and it can be hard. It just depends on who you are and who you're trying to get Baker Act. You can't just go Baker Act anybody.
Hey, everybody.
Now her family probably could have had her Baker Act if they felt something was wrong with her. You know,
Well,
I don't know.
I have a feeling that her mother did think there was something going on because of the fact that when she went to her office and her mother had to say, "Why haven't you called the police?" That's my opinion, but
Yeah, and her mom didn't apparently care for. She didn't like Stearns.
no.
She was
Mom
also
always knows.
yeah, but and then the grandma also said that Maddie was had the anxiety and couldn't sleep alone and those signs. And I'm sure that stuff Jennifer kept reiterating to the mother. She can't sleep alone. She's got to sleep with me all the time, whatever. There's still a lot of chatter as to where is Jennifer Soto and if she is being housed somewhere in a mental health facility right now within Florida. And
yeah,
a lot of times if you go into a facility, they won't arrest you until you come out.
Right. Yeah.
In Florida.
Because they don't want to deal with the
Mhm.
the mental health issues. They want you to be good, and then they'll put you in jail.
Yeah, and I've tried to ask questions, to people who might know, and nobody's talking. You know what I mean? I'm like, where's Soto? Where's she at? What is the word on the street? Have you
When
heard anything? And
when it first happened, I know JLR did a video. He went by Stephanie, her sister's house, and said that Jen's car he believed is parked there, but he himself said, "I don't know if she's there, but I've also heard she's possibly in a facility." That was
yeah,
like a week after. So
yeah, we heard that she did go, but we don't have confirmation, and we
right,
don't have confirmation she ever came out.
exactly.
I've
And
heard this is a rumor, but I've heard that she's at her sister's house.
Yeah, well, she's
I've
either
heard
at
that
her
recently.
yeah, she's either I don't think her mom's going to want her right now, but I think she's either at her sister's or she's at a facility. And if you have a full-on breakdown, they're not going to boot you out of that facility anytime soon. Because one person was like, "Well, there's a 90-day Florida insurance thingy that I'm in Florida. If you are mentally ill or having a full-on breakdown, they're not going to boot you out in 90 days. They will come up with a game plan, right, and a treatment plan and all these things, and they may release you into a doctor's care." But I don't know if that, whether she knew or not, she'd be flipping crazy right now. You know what I mean? Either way, if she knew, I hope she's suffering for what she knew. But if she didn't, God, Lord, help that naive woman. But I'm not convinced it was naive women thing. You know what I mean?
I don't think it was a naive women thing. Oh, Kimberfoot, stay down.
Let's start with the Kimberfoot stuff. Okay. So this is February. This is a information below. Let me see. Another case supplement, and page 357. Always named them for Butterfly, but I know she's not here right now. But in case she's listening for the replay, 357 is where we're at. On February 26 at approximately 2000 hours, a 13-year-old was reported missing to the Orange County Sheriff's Office by her mother. Her mother provided a sworn written statement to Orange County deputies and summarized as follows. On 2/26/2024 at approximately 8 a.m., redacted saw redacted getting ready for school. Lie number 1. So that was Jennifer seeing Maddie getting ready for school. Jennifer stated Stefan Stearns took her to school and dropped her off about a block away from school. Jen said Stefan dropped Maddie off on Town Loop Boulevard between Town Center Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. Jen said Stefan dropped her off between 8:30 and 8:45. Jen said, or redacted, went to redacted around 1600 hours to pick up Maddie, but she never came out of the school. Jen stated she checked the area and then went to her mother's office where it is located near the school but could not locate her. Deputy Joseph from the Orange County Sheriff's Office contacted the on-call domestic crimes detective who investigated missing persons and advised to send the report to the missing persons squad. On February 27th, Detective Hunt from the Orange County Sheriff's Office was assigned to the case. Therefore, Detective Hunt began his investigation. Detective Hunt interviewed Jen and Stefan during the initial phase of his investigation. During these interviews, Detective Hunt noticed some inconsistencies in their statements. Right off the bat, these two were lying and were caught. Later, Detective Tagler with Orange County Sheriff's Office arrived on scene and was asked to assist with interviewing Stefan. Detective Tagler would eventually become the lead investigator for the Orange County Sheriff's Office case. Detective Tagler interviewed Stefan at redacted. See Detective Tagler's supplement for further details. On February 27th at approximately 2100 hours, I, Detective Smallwood, responded to redacted to assist Detective Hunt in the Orange County Sheriff's Office with the investigation. At the time of my arrival, redacted, Stefan and their roommates were out of the residence, and the residence was secured pending a search warrant. There was at least 2 roommates living in that apartment with Jennifer and Maddie and Stefan when he came to visit.
That's what I had a problem with before. You remember
Yep.
last time we talked about that?
Yep.
That's a bit of an issue for me. With all
Me
those
too.
people being in that house, how in the hell did you not notice there's something going on with this little girl in this piece of garbage?
Well, in Dago, it had 4 bedrooms.
Yeah.
One had number 4 on the door, which is where he took Maddie to sleep. But yet Maddie, who lived there full time, had a makeshift bedroom in the living room and not a private bedroom for a preteen girl.
Like, right. And if I saw living in somebody else's house, somebody taking an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old little girl into a room by herself and not coming back out till the next morning,
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean?
I agree. I've wondered about these roommates. Did they ever see anything like that? Did they ever notice? We know, reading through these documents, we have read where Stefan, I guess the images were on his phone, took his phone, slid it under the door, and was videotaping and photographing one of the roommates. So then I had to wonder, well, did they even know? Were they not there a lot? Did they just not hang out as friends? They just was a strictly living situation. They stayed to themselves. But you would, by God, know if this little girl wasn't asleep. I mean,
the one roommate they did an interview with said that she felt extremely guilty that she didn't nor couldn't do anything or hadn't done anything about it or something like that. Maybe he was a creeper to everyone and he made everyone feel the same way, and they stayed the hell away and didn't pay attention, sadly.
yeah.
So this was a say something situation, and nobody said anything.
They minded
Well,
their own business.
They minded their business, and we don't know if he, like, for instance, say I'm just trying to figure out how they would not know. So what if the roommates come home, they go to bed at night or whatever, they're like pretty consistent with their things, but he doesn't physically take her into a room until everybody's in bed. But still, somebody has to get up and go to the bathrooms at some point. I mean, if you live there, you're going to notice something amiss. So I get, yeah.
Yeah, if you're living there full time, there's no way that you're not going to know that something is.
Well, if the guy was probably what I think he was and very sneaky, then, it could be. And they may not have been there that much at that point. But, at the same time, we have the same questions for Jen. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm having I don't really want to go. I don't know the whole
right
situation with these roommates. I do have questions. You know what I mean? I think naturally we're going to have those questions as to what the hell was really going on in that apartment and what people knew and didn't know.
Yes. Yes.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre to say the least, and I don't like the fact.
Very least, yes, ma'am.
Here's the biggest question I have, and I'll tell y'all the reason I have it. I used to have a friend online, and she was strictly an online friend, okay? But she lived in hold on. Oh, what state did George Floyd live in?
New York?
Minnesota. Thank you.
Or no,
Okay.
wait, yeah, okay, sorry.
They lived in Minnesota. So she was strictly an online friend. But she was married to a guy. And I would talk to her daughter online. We would just talk online. And she would go see the mother would go see her boyfriend because her and her husband were on the outs and they were fixing to get a divorce and all this. But when she was gone, her daughter, would message her daughter would message me and stuff, and her daughter would be like, "I just hate him and everything," and talk about her stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And then she would go, "I kissed a boy today and he just got so mad and he was so jealous." And when her mom got home from the last trip she went on, I told her mom. And I mean, this was just me being observant from, this many miles away online. And I said, you need to sit her down and talk to her. And she sat her down and talked to her. And that man went to jail for SA.
Bad stuff.
Because, I recognized it from just talking to this child online. So I don't know how somebody couldn't notice it in the same home.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I have read a lot of stuff on this, a lot of stories that were posted on this stuff. And one story I read was posted by a psychiatrist about multiple patients they had that talked about their family not noticing and come to the conclusion it was 3 different scenarios, and each one of them was the same thing. How did you not know? How did you not know? And this psychiatrist said that a lot of people go through something that I can't remember what the hell they called it, but it was some form of denial. And they didn't want to accept it, so therefore they ignored it, thinking that if they ignored it, in a sense, it would go away.
It doesn't exist. If they ignore it, it's not.
Yes, and that is something that, according to this doctor, I can't remember the doctor's.
There's many of them that say it. Yeah, there's many of them.
It's a real thing that happens all the time in these types of cases. Anyway, sorry, I'll shut up now. But I just
no, you're good, because you're right. It is a thing, and instead of they consciously choose to ignore it. Or maybe subconsciously choose to ignore it, because that just makes it easier. And so you're exactly right with the way what you're saying, what you were listening to, because I've read the same research, and that's why I have tried to give her grace and think, she just did not know, naive, just whatever. But the amount of lies that she continued to tell from jump never made sense. Once we realized they were lies, and why would you lie to for him, right?
Exactly.
And then when you are shown photos of his privates and you don't recognize it, but you recognized his hand, why did you never see his privates, honey?
That's there you go, right there.
You only saw his hands.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's your daughter, but you don't know that's his private. But oh wait, that is his hand. What the hell?
I think if it hadn't went on as long as it had, for all the years that it probably went on, that I could, believe better that she might not have known. But for all the years that it went on,
no way, not anymore. I can't with that anymore, because of all the.
Did Dago just stop midstream?
No, I think he's breaking up. He may be having connective issues again. Our swamp signal. Hold up. Let me show you.
He muted. Caden may be talking to him, or Brandy.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
She that whole thing with her, in a sense, was maybe in her mind. Well, if I tell him I don't recognize it, that clears me of all issues, and I'm not involved. Again, right. It's a psychological thing. I think that these people, it's insanity. It's ridiculous.
It's very weak. I think many of us mothers, many of us parents can agree that we believe we would see red flags.
Yes, ma'am.
We believe that we would never allow our child to go, hey, I need rest. I got this anxiety. Go sleep in there with my boyfriend. No, we all know that that's not normal behavior. It's not something we would routinely do ourselves, and and we would take that into account. It's hard to justify what we're reading and seeing with this woman.
It's very hard.
Yeah. I don't think there's many women, especially my friends in this community. And I'm looking down this list right now, and I know for a fact every woman I see is going to say, no. I would have never sent my child to sleep with him, even if it was my 10-year long life boyfriend. You know what I mean? You don't teach your little girls. I mean, okay, my girls were close to their father. my dad has however many of there's four of us girls. You know, we're all close to our dad, but my dad was very particular. We didn't come out of our bedroom without our house coat on. Right? The boys didn't get to run around,
No,
you know, in just their boxers in front of us girls.
exactly.
We had very standards and rules and morals and things, you know. No. So my dad was very particular, and so I don't. It's hard to understand a woman that does maybe. Remember, her dad did live with them for a short while, and then
Hmm.
when Stefan come along, dad was gone. So was that part of his, you know,
Yeah.
part of his
Yeah.
grooming efforts? Once he got in there and was helping her so much, she didn't need dad anymore, and he probably didn't care for Stefan either.
He probably knew. I mean, I think that fathers have a sixth sense for things like this in some senses, especially if you have daughters. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But I think that we are able to pick up on the darkness that comes from these people because
Yeah.
I've done that. I had two daughters or I have two daughters. I'm sorry. Growing up, we'd go into a store and there'd just be somebody that would walk past and I just spin around like, whoa. And I'd catch this guy. That's happened to me a couple different times. And it's like, And I brought them over by me. Something's just not right. There's a feeling about this. And I could be
Yeah.
wrong. It could just be me, but I'm just saying. So,
Oh yeah, it definitely. You can't be more vigilant, you know, and it's just hard to
right.
wrap our heads around. And then especially when we all see the shoulder rubbing efforts and all that
Mm,
bullshit that
that
we
makes
had.
it so hard.
I mean,
Well,
it was like, I mean, I get it if at first you know didn't have a clue this man did something to your child and you thought he was concerned, blah blah blah. You're pretending still, but man, that stuff was just weird from the get go. He should have been comforting her,
Yep.
and things like that should have been happening that just weren't happening. It's just ugh. It was
right.
Every bit of it was strange.
Because now, when I was 8 and 9, my mom worked overnight at the hospital. And if
Mhm.
I was sick and I ran a really high fever, I slept in the same bed with my dad. It was nothing weird,
Yeah.
nothing
That's
nefarious.
your father, though.
Yeah,
That's
it was
that. Yeah,
it was
I mean,
my daddy, and there was nothing weird, nothing. I always had pajamas on because one night I was like, actually, my fever was so high I was seeing things.
Yeah.
So, and mom kept calling him, waking him up. He was going, "She's fine." He was.
I mean, we did too. We were able to get up on the bed and snuggle with our dad and watch cartoons.
Yeah,
And
Of course.
my dad was never a in bed kind of guy. He was always up. But you know, we did
there
that
were
normal
cases,
things. But my
but,
mom never said, "Okay, it's bedtime." And my mama
Goes-
has some damn anxiety. Let me just tell you, she never once said, "Y'all go sleep in there." And all the no.
yeah, no.
You
The
put
only
your
time
ass in
I ever
your
did
bed
it
and
was
you go to
when,
bed.
when I was sick. But
Yeah.
there was never a time when my mom said, "Okay, go get in bed with your daddy."
But that's your daddy. That's
Right.
Yeah, there's a difference, and this was not. I mean, I'm not downing the bonus dads. I mean, because you can just be as super close as your regular dad, even if they
Yeah.
can raise you from
Yeah.
an infant, right? A bonus dad can raise a child from an infant and be that child's daddy. This man was nobody's daddy, and
No.
Jennifer damn well knew it. And if she fell for his bullshit, because he already moved out, and your daughter needs somebody to snuggle with so she can sleep, you let him randomly come back and do that?
Mm-hmm.
And even after y'all done broke up and stuff, there was just too much there for us to justify anymore
Yes.
that this
Right.
woman didn't know something.
And if
Absolutely.
Maddie had anxiety, Jennifer was the one that should have been snuggling and comforting her child, not some
Exactly.
weirdo.
That's the biggest thing right there. Where
Exactly.
were you? Tired
Where
or
were
not
you
tired?
when your child
your
needed
child.
you?
Yeah,
Hi, JC.
exactly. I do.
But yeah,
agree.
where were you when your child needed you?
Doodle, are
That-
we the same damn person?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my son had to go to the bathroom one time when we were at the mall. And I told him I think he was like 9. And I said, well, or 8 or something. He may have been young, 7 or 8, something like that. I was like, okay, you're going to have to go in the women's restroom. Then he goes, Mom, I'm just going to go into the men's restroom. I was like, oh
Yeah.
God. I
I
stood
know.
outside that restroom pacing. And this man
Uh-huh.
come out, and I'm like, and he's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, my son went in there, and he's been in there for a minute. He said, I'll go check. So he went
Yep.
in there and checked, and he was fine. But I was a nervous
But
wreck.
still, that first time when you're taking them
Yeah,
in there with you, and they're like, I don't want to go in that lady's bathroom anymore with you, mom. And you're like, oh, no, son, no, you're my baby.
you're my
know?
baby, and,
Yep.
and we're here at the mall by ourselves, and you can't do that.
Well, now they have the family restrooms. They didn't have that shit back in the day.
Girl,
You
when we used to go on vacation and he was like 3, we'd go, of course, he didn't care if he went to the bathroom with me then, and he'd be like looking up under the stalls telling the lady next door hi. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to tell the lady next door hi. She really doesn't want to see you right now. So stop it.
Well, I wonder if Jennifer's lawyered up.
I'm sure somebody told her to.
She doesn't. She
But
shouldn't
then
have
again,
a lot
if
of money,
she's if she's in a facility, she may not have at this point yet.
may
You
not
know what I
have
mean?
yet. She may, yeah. Because if she can't get a public defender unless she's charged with something, right?
Yes,
Except for
ma'am.
her to retain private counsel, she's going to need a little bit of money. And I
Yep.
know her mama owns a business, but is mama willing to do that?
And does Mama actually have enough money other than what she's got
To-
going
right.
into her business? That's
Right.
the thing too.
She could just be like just living in, it ain't cheap to live down there.
No,
I
no.
can't-
It's not.
I can't see her mother being willing, because I think her mother really holds Jennifer accountable, as well as Stephon Stearns, as to what happened to Maddie. I can't see her mother ponying up the dough.
Yeah, I think they might have their own guilt to wrestle with,
Because if I was her,
they
if
come
I-
out immediately and started, with the statements about how they didn't care for him. Well, then, I'm sure that things started coming back to their mind. They're going, oh my God. I feel
Mhm.
bad. And that, because I don't think her mom knew Maddie was suffering this abuse. Maddie didn't tell them. She never let on to it. They even say, we've read in these reports how him and Maddie were talking all the time on their on the iPhone app, whatever that is. Yeah, then people use on the iPhones. Everybody in my family got one, but me. I got the Samsung.
What was it?
I track
What
my
was it?
kid through Life 360. But yeah, so she talked to him all the time. It appeared they had a good, friendly relationship. But if you read, and as she started to get older around this birthday party last few months, she began to say things to a couple of her friends. But when you look back, and I reviewed one of the earlier documents a few minutes ago, well, before we started the live, I was looking for something and I read it again. I was like, damn, each count listed, or it was a video image, like 5 or 6 in a row, all around the age of 11. They gave the exact age and everything. And every incident that he did to her, and I won't repeat what those were because we've all heard, she appeared to be asleep. And remember, we were reading all that earlier. She appeared to be asleep. I feel like that is such an aggravated circumstance alone, death penalty, because you were absolutely drugging this child. And you said in the interview I reviewed again earlier, because I was just thinking about this case, and he got there. Maddie got home at 10:30. He got there at 10:45. He already said, and I had to make sure she was getting ready for bed and taking her nightly medications. And we already know he's all strung out on his tranquilizers and his Ativan over there. Was he sharing what he had with Maddie, with her not knowing it?
Yep. That is
Right?
my opinion as well.
Knocking this child out and raping her while she's
And that's
asleep.
what I think may have happened, is that whether he messed up the meds or didn't give her the meds, or something happened and he thought he gave her enough and she woke up and tried to fight back. And that is exactly what I think happened.
Now, I haven't come across it yet. I know there were clippings taking. Okay, I saw a statement where there was some DNA from underneath Maddie's fingernails. I have not personally ran across it yet, but he also allegedly had scratches on his wrist. So I'm really hoping that is the case, and we will find that document here eventually. But if that's the case, and she has that under her nails, and those are scratches, and she absolutely woke up and fought back, which probably led to what happened. Because there is a leak and a rumor that she was strangled. So, and I'm trying to be respectful of Maddie, because the cause of death will come out in court, but you will not get your hands on the autopsy report,
No,
and I don't want it either. I back that up.
right. I agree.
I know that saying that here, I mean, it's been talked about in other places, and I'm well aware of it. So I feel comfortable talking to you guys about that. So I think you're right, Dago, that she probably did wake up or come to,
Yep.
during something, and that may have resulted in what happened. I
That's
just
truly. After hearing him talk about the tranquilizers he took and stuff like that, I started thinking. I went, based on what we know about the possible cause of death, okay,
Mhm.
and the whole situation and the period of time that this went on for, I had to start wondering. That's probably why he got away with it for so long, and the things that he did, and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
It makes perfect sense to me that that's exactly what happened, in my opinion. Because if she were to come to and start freaking out, trying to scream, the best way to shut that off is to go for the neck. Okay,
Mhm.
and that makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
And
and it was.
and
Go
she's
ahead.
going to claw. She's going to claw at his arms because
Mhm.
she's going to be trying to breathe. So she's going to be trying to claw his hands away.
Yeah, bless her heart. It's just these guys. In it's bad enough what was happening, and it gets worse when we hear how long, and this tripod in the damn bedroom, and the number four, and appears to be asleep each time. I mean, thank goodness that she was asleep, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But that's, to me, that shows so much intent. Worse, you know what I mean? It just shows the
Absolutely
level.
worse. Yes.
Exactly, the level this dude was willing to go to get his freaking way with this child. And you can't help but think she was served up on a silver platter. And I can't help but think, how much money were you making? Because why else would you tolerate
Yep.
it?
Absolutely.
To have some man come around every now and then when the fucking poodles annoyed him?
100%. 100%.
Let me ask you this. Dago, you were talking about the medicine. Do you think it could have been a case where also he was trying to knock her out and he gave her too much?
Mm-hmm. Could have been.
Yeah, that's possible, of course. But well, here's the thing. I thought about that. That he could have given her too much, and she went into a deep sleep, and maybe he thought she was gone. And in the midst of something, she starts to wake up and freak out, and she wasn't actually gone. And then he realized, oh shit, and he had to finish what
Right.
what he thought was going on, because of the situation at that time. It was too late, and that's maybe where the strangulation thing came in, for lack of, we don't know that's a fact, by the way. I'm just saying it's something that's
Right.
a speculative theory. So yeah, that's very possible, Kimber. Very, very possible. Because tranquilizers are very strong.
Yeah.
And if he's on a dose for an adult, she's just a little thing, you'd have to regulate what's just enough to keep her asleep so that he can continue what he's doing, be
Yeah.
done, and walk away like nothing happened. She'll wake up and go, oh, and I gotta wonder how many times she woke up, if this is the case, wondering what happened to her and not knowing, and he just walks around her like nothing.
And we read Dago, because we're up to page 357, but we have read that she had become, over the past few months, Maddie was very tired in class, was laying her head down and trying to sleep. It appeared to be like drug intoxication. The next day you're still groggy.
Hangover.
Yeah. So just some of the stuff we were reading, we were like, damn, and then we start reading and seeing that she was appeared to be sleeping during most of the sexual assaults. It was like,
Yep.
is she tired the next day because of all these drugs? And she even told her friends that she wasn't taking the medications that she was being prescribed because she kept feeling too tired, and she thought that it was the medication. And I
Right.
think it could have been what they were prescribing her, but I also feel like, no, he was also extra medicating her on the side, and that was probably causing a lot of her problems, with her not being able to stay awake and things like that.
Absolutely.
And the foggy
Absolutely.
memory, you got to have a foggy memory at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
Kimber, I think I saw your forehead for a minute in the
You
fan,
did.
like when the judge is not in the like when the court's not in session. We kept seeing that
Yeah.
fan Karen Reed.
Judge Bev. Y'all go home.
Auntie
Y'all take your asses to lunch and make up your damn minds.
Pick up your damn minds.
Make
Sleep
up your damn
call her
minds.
Aunt Bev. So I end up calling her Aunt Bev. Yeah, Aunt
Hurry the
Bev.
hell up.
Hurry the hell up, make up y'all's minds. Oh, y'all
Make up
can't.
those damn minds.
I always say I'm like a dream juror, but well, I know which way I probably would have voted in that case. I don't know what they're going to do over there now in that crazy mess. Okay, so they noticed the inconsistencies in their statements. Okay, on February 27th, we already finished this one. Okay, on February 28th, the search warrant for the residence was executed. During the execution of the warrant, information was discovered from Stefan's cell phone, and it was also discovered Stefan never dropped Maddie off at school. At the time, Detective Morris was assigned as the lead investigator on the case, and the investigation was turned over to the Kissimmee Police Department.
Take that?
What are you talking, Kimber?
I would wait till you go to bed, closer to go to bed.
You're not muted, Kimber.
Kimber. Foot.
I'd give
Kimber.
it a little bit.
Kimber. Kimber.
Hold on. Yes.
You're not muted.
I'm sorry. I was trying to get my husband not to take too much sneezing medication. I'm here now.
Too much sneezing medication.
Well, he took some Benadryl because he's been sneezing all day. Then he wanted to know if he could take his Mucinex, and I told him to wait a little bit before he took his Mucinex because he just took 2 Benadryl.
Take that shit and go on to bed, dude. No.
Hold up now. Hold up.
She's like, I kind of like him.
I kind of like him, so I told him to give it a few minutes. I'm sorry. Dago was yelling. I was like, who the frick's yelling at me?
No, I was just letting you know you weren't muted if you thought you were.
I was trying to read, Kimber, and all I heard was you talking about something. I didn't know what. I thought you were talking to me, and I couldn't figure it out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue, Salty. I'll mute.
I don't know where I was. No. Okay. So the information was I got to read this again. Something caught me right here. On February 28th, the search warrant for the residence was executed. During the execution of the warrant, information was discovered from Stefan's cell phone, and it was also discovered he never dropped Maddie off. Okay, I guess they were figuring out that was a lie, but it wouldn't have nothing to do with what was on the phone. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay. Another supplemental or an incident report on what Juvenile Confidential, more information on Maddie. Same thing here, another report. This is the officer that provided security around the property while they were doing their investigation. Another formalities. Same thing with this officer. This is his arrest warrant in the Circuit Court of the 9th Judicial Circuit Court, Osceola County, Florida. God, they always put a bunch of words in there. Anyway, there's asshole, 6'2", brown eyes. They should have put black, beady, motherfucking weird looking eyes.
I didn't know they stacked a piece of shit that high.
Yeah, this dude. If he was going to be caught anywhere, I'm glad it was in Florida, and I hope this DP thing sticks with him. Now, this is the affidavit that they used to get his arrest with. Standard stuff here. Stearns did violate the statute code of sexual battery victim under 12 familia, and that is what got him the death penalty. Your affiant, Detective Moore, is sworn by a law enforcement officer. Okay, that's just his credentials. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stefan Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at school. Now, we all know that's not true. Why would she do that? Why is she telling them in one statement that he came over that morning and picked her up and drove her to school, But then when him and her are finally interviewed together and this and that, it's no, he arrived at 8:45 the night before, spent the night, was sent off to bed at 11 with her. But we just totally skipped that from the get-go and just said, no, he showed up that morning.
Right.
And they didn't think these cops were going to realize they were fucking lying that fast.
This is why we can't give her grace, because of these lies.
Right.
And
Exactly.
he's not her stepfather.
Right.
He's a random.
I think, you know what, I
She
wonder
decided
if
to
she
date.
thought, if I tell them this smooth, stepfather picked her up that morning, dropped her off, no big deal, and that was her at the church, they're just going to believe it and we're just going to look for her forever. They're insane.
These people are not smart, Salty. You know that.
No, they weren't no, you can look at Jen and tell she's not super, super bright, but she's smart enough to know something's happening to her daughter. I won't say she was naive enough not to know, because I think she could have known.
No,
But when you go telling these lies right off the start,
Yep.
why would you say he came picked her up that morning when you know damn good and well he was there the night before, and you sent them to bed at 11 o'clock yourself personally?
Exactly.
An interview was conducted with Stefan. During the interview with Stefan, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he accidentally performed the factory reset on the 26th. Upon reviewing the contents of the phone, and several images and videos were located, depicted an apparent child. And we've all read this stuff already. What all was depicted? We don't have to hear it again. Further, Eurofiant was reviewing the images from August of 2022 incident. Eurofiant observed the characteristics of the room where the incident occurred. Previously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant at Stefan's home address of redacted. The address is also where the victim and her mother and Stefan live. So that was Jennifer's actual address. Osceola took images of the layout of the residence. Based upon a review of the images from the county sheriff's office, execution of the search warrant at the residence, the room pictured in the images from the August 22 incident matches one of the rooms in the residence. Based on the totality of the circumstances, Eurofiant has probable cause to believe Stefan committed a sexual battery, familial custodial authority on the victim when the victim was under 12 years old. So that must be one of the first times they could fuck up, dating back in the phone. In August 22, she was under the age of 12, which brought the special charge. Thank God he was too stupid to get rid of all that for real. You know what I mean?
The dumbest thing I'm glad he was stupid. I can't be more happy that he was a stupid man, because everybody knows you don't accidentally reset your phone to factory settings.
No, he went through that big old long spiel about how it was the iPhone update and blah, 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 and all these buttons and blah, blah, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, but we all know that's a bunch of, what is it? What hang on. We're going to show y'all what Miss Barbara says. Where's my thing at? This is what we do here. We call bullshit.
We call bullshit.
We call bullshit over here. Thank you, Miss Barbara.
Absolutely.
It's like the second stream we did, we were reading some of these documents, and she's like, I call bullshit. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. We call bullshit over here.
It was hilarious. I loved it.
And I love Miss Barbara. That's so, yeah. So yes, we call bullshit. And this was the emergency warrant request. Remember, they did the emergency warrant for his arrest based upon the evidence on the phone of the assaults. And so there you go with that one. Affidavit for arrest, and this is just the same one as above. Well, this is where they the mother advised that he picked her up and dropped her off. And an interview was conducted with the victim's stepfather, Stefan Stearns, advised. Huh?
I saw Drifty High. That's Mom's sister. My mom's sister.
Oh yes. Yes. Hello. How are you? Look, Doodle got the cake.
Doodle always has cake.
Yeah. So he needs to bring some of that pineapple upside down cake and stuff too. Um, I don't eat the cake like they do. I guess y'all all enjoy that good sweet cake. It makes my mouth turn up crazy. I could eat it without icing. It's way better. I'm like, so in an interview was conducted with the victim's stepfather, Stefan Stearns, who advised he picked the victim up and dropped her off in front of the Peace United Methodist Church preschool on Town Loop Boulevard, which was down the street from the school at 8:40. Redacted begins class at 9:30. So that's going to be Maddie. A license plate reader. Damn, they got them all over Florida, but not in fucking Idaho. Anyway, a license plate reader captured Stefan's vehicle driving away from the school at 8:10. During the interview with Stefan, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he accidentally performed that reset on it. And then there's his phone number. Y'all want to call it? No, don't.
I cannot believe they redacted names out, but they didn't redact his phone number out.
Look, I was on his Facebook the other day, just being a troll, and man, the comments, wow. I was like, holy shit. I laughed. I was like, where's my freaking popcorn? This is good. And then I went and found them damn poodles. Amen for them poodles that bothered him, because I done found them poodles, Stefan. I got a picture of them and everything. I'm going to show them in a minute. Little poodles annoyed the shit out of you, and I hope they did. I hope he has nightmares about them poodles while he's laying there in prison without his Ativan. I'm sorry. I can get real mean and nasty, and this dude right here don't deserve it.
He deserved it, every bit of it.
Every fucking bit of it. After an extensive canvass of the area and interviews with the victim's family and friends, it was unusual for the victim to be dropped off down the street from the school and not to stay in communication with her family and friends. Upon reviewing the contents of Stefan's phone, several images and videos were located which depicted the missing juvenile with her privates and openings and focal point of the pictures and the videos. Let me put the banner back up, guys, because we don't usually we've read all these words a bunch of times, most of us in here, but some of y'all probably haven't. And I apologize, because I do end up reading some of it, and it is what it is. But we're adults.
Part of true crime. We gotta take it for what it is.
Yeah, we're respectful of Maddie, but at the same time, this stuff is what it is.
Right.
So, as such, the files depict the sexual performance of a child. Your affiant has probable cause to believe Stefan's in possession of material depicting sexual performance. It should be noted the penis observed penetrating the victim had distinct markings on it, which consisted of bright pink colored skin, followed by below the head of the part. And it describes it, right, which is pretty detailed description for Jennifer not to know that was his.
Yes, ma'am.
Several other pictures capturing this distinct pattern were observed on the phone. Further, as your affiant was reviewing the pictures and videos, I was observing several different pieces of clothing, to include patterned underwear, shirts, blankets, and sheets. Simultaneously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant at Stefan's address. This address is also where the victim and her mother lived. The residents were contacted and confirmed that they found the same distinct clothing in both Stefan's room and the victim's room. Based on the totality of the circumstance, your affiant has probable cause to believe Stefan committed battery. So they were able to find the clothing from the pictures in the home, in the bedrooms. They see this distinct pattern on the male part in the photos that, lo and behold, matches his in real life. So all the evidence is there. And then I still can't get past. I'm sorry, women, y'all know what your man's thing looks like. He's gonna show you 1,000 times.
You should, at least.
Right, there you go. Even if not for medical reasons.
But, right.
Even if, but I know what you're saying. He should be showing you, right? But for her to say she didn't recognize it like that, to me was like, huh?
Well, the only thing I'm gonna say, and I'm not defending her, but here's the thing. Think about this for a minute, Salty. If this guy was the creeper that we all know that he is, the piece of garbage that we all know that he is, maybe they didn't have much.
That's what I'm thinking.
much of that kind of relationship, and he was taking it all over to
That,
the other side where he shouldn't be.
that's exactly that's exactly my point, because she knew what his hand looked like,
Yep,
but she didn't know what that looked like. I can't
exactly.
identify that as his. How come? Did you never see it before?
Hmm.
And if you weren't seeing it and your daughter was, what the hell is he doing around?
And
If you're not
yes.
if you're not seeing that, what's the benefit
If
there,
you don't have
Jennifer,
that
of
kind of
your
a
relationship?
relationship, what are you in this relationship for if you're not,
Right.
you know what I mean?
If you're not having relations with the man
No,
and you are no longer even living together and none of that's happening, why is he still in your life going to bed with your daughter?
that's it right there. Convenience, money.
Money?
Mhm.
I think she knew what it looked like. I think she just thought if she denied it.
Well, I think it's stupid to deny that, but say you know what his hand looked like. That just made you look stupider than dirt. I,
Completely.
Well, yeah, but
I get what you're saying. She's thinking in her mind, oh, I can pretend I don't know whose that is, until they showed her the picture with his face in it. And she could no longer deny that was his face
right.
touching her
But
daughter's
she's thinking I
breast.
can deny that's his peen, and then,
It'll
Then
you
turn
go.
know,
around and say, I recognize that hand, though. I feel like that's just like,
Yeah.
well,
what?
the hand's something she sees every day.
Well,
Well,
you'd think she'd see his peen every day.
yeah.
I'm just saying it's odd to me. I get what you're saying. She thought she could deny it. If you're going to keep denying it, then deny that's his hand. Deny that's his face going off to the mental hospital. Do your
Mhm.
thing. But to say
Again,
that's not, I don't recognize this penis.
these are the things that make it hard to show any grace to this woman.
It really is. Not tried. I tried.
She's
Oh,
a
God.
liar.
I sat down with my wife one night and I said, listen, this case is driving me nuts, just like the rest of them do. And I said, I want to know your opinion. And I said, this is the scenario, this and that. And she was completely like blown away, disgusted, all that. And I said, do you think it's possible that, you know, since she was 7, 8, 9 years old on through their relationship, that she would not have noticed anything? And she looked at me and she said, is that what this is about? Is that what she's saying? I said, she hasn't really said anything yet. But the point is that this little girl's deceased now, and she could have stopped this as a mother. How did she not see or hear? Do you think it's possible that she really did not know? And she
Yeah.
said, we looked at everything, covered it, went over, and she goes, I don't believe that. There's no way. I just can't see it. So this is somebody else's opinion that does not do true crime. I mean,
Mhm.
she's got psychology degrees, but she doesn't get into this stuff. And every now and again, I go to her and ask her opinion on these things, and she said, I just can't see it.
Yeah. It's hard to believe somebody would just be so naive or in the dark
dumb.
to hear the things we've heard. You're like, what?
And that's why I still go back to that deniability. That if you deny it, it didn't happen, it doesn't exist.
Mhm.
You're okay with it.
Like Kimber said, like even with the image, she's denying that's his because she doesn't want to believe it, and I totally understand that, and I get I was totally on board with it. Could just be an all denial issue, but the lies from the beginning. He picked her up that morning. He took her to school. No, we took her. Then we're going to go on the news and we did this and it was just like,
Yeah.
and I remember when this first happened, Dago, I talked to you about it off
Oh, yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know everybody's already coming out the gate at this lady, but I need to wait a minute. I need to really look at what she's saying.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. That took a few days. And I was like, I got back with Dago. I was like, shit, she looking shady as hell,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and
Yep.
catching in her in her own lies is what did it, because it's hard to come out of the gate and say, oh my God, they did this and they did that, because we just don't know.
I
Well-
think
we
she lied
see.
about it to try to save her ass and try to save his ass.
And you know what's sad? My wife even said something else, and it hit me like a bat. I'm not lying. She goes, I have a bad feeling with this person. I showed her. We watched the interviews and all that. Good stuff, Turkey. And we went over the interviews together. I said, what is your take on body language, this stuff? She's the one who taught me body language and all that kind of stuff. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, I don't want to even say this out loud, but I have a feeling that if the little girl wouldn't have passed and it was all dealt with and taken care of and he got away with it, she is giving me this vibe that she would stay with him and keep being with him and go forward with their relationship through whatever it takes to do that. Okay. And
Yes.
I said, you know, I kind of, it's funny that she said that. I said, I can see this woman being that person. It's disgusting to say that, but I can see her being that person. She seems so needy and so like almost as if she relinquished her motherly duties to this person with hearing that, well, you know, I needed to sleep, so I sent her off to this to sleep with him, and I'm too tired for this and I'm too tired for that. Those things would make me feel like, just to make sure that she's got someone to take care of this child or to keep him around, she'd be willing to work through this in her mind and be okay with it. And I agreed with my wife. It's disgusting to say this, but
Oh, I think
it does happen too.
she would have
Mhm.
definitely let the abuse continue, because it's just like that day, that interview that you showed, and I will never get that interview out of my head.
Which one?
Once it was in there, Dago, it cannot be erased.
Oh, none of
The
this
one
can.
where he is sitting in the chair and she is consoling him like he is a man who has lost his significant other.
He
It is
did.
not it is not like he has lost a
Yes, ma'am.
stepdaughter. It is like he has lost his significant other.
Why I said it, that is exactly what that was like to me. Like,
Yeah.
he lost his girlfriend. This is sick, guys. I can't believe
Right.
this is coming out of my mouth, but this is
The way
what I
she was
saw.
rubbing his back and consoling him, and I was like,
You know, it's okay. We'll get through it. It's okay. It's okay.
yeah.
I wanted to vomit. I'll be honest with you. When I said what I said, I wanted to vomit. It was the most disgusting thought and the most disgusting scenario, but I believe it's true. You heard how often he responded to questions, how often he spoke up about Maddie. She didn't. You know, she was happy that I was here. She was happy that we were together. She was a happy child. There was so much love. There was so much love. You sick piece of shit. You know, that's not love. That's disgusting. And that is why when I saw her doing that, the look on his face, in her face, it's like, yeah, he just lost the love of his life. This is so sick for me. And that's what she's comforting right now. This is sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel that he
It
was
it's
actually
bizarre
crying
behavior.
over this. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
hon.
No, you're right. It's very bizarre behavior, and it didn't make sense as well. It didn't make sense, but we all got the same feeling, right? It was like
Oh
like you're
yeah,
saying, he lost a partner versus a
yeah.
child, or not just that the child was missing. Oh my God, we got to go find her. I've already lost.
He knew she wasn't coming back.
Right.
Right. He
That
knew
was
she
devastating to him in
exactly,
his mind because he lost that.
and at his hands, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah.
Um, um,
But it wasn't the loss of a child, it was the loss of a significant other, like a
it was the
girlfriend
loss of
or a yeah,
his
bizarre. It was the
yeah,
loss of a girlfriend, a significant other. It was how he saw Maddie. It wasn't how we saw Maddie as a child. It was how he
yeah.
saw Maddie in his eyes, which was ooh, it was
I would
creepy.
love to see a real deal psychological breakdown of this guy and wonder.
There, yeah, he's going to be studied eventually. I'm already, dude. This dude is like somebody else I've been looking at from day one.
Hmm.
It's very, because the only way, a lot of times and when I tell you, I don't try because I don't mean to. It starts to happen. If you get into these guys' heads, you don't want to be there long.
Right.
Mm-mm.
There's things about them and their life there's things about him that I know that, ugh, you know, that aren't out there yet. Some things that are, some stories that will still be told, and it's just how far back this really went with this guy, and when these things started, because people don't realize how early these issues can start with children even, you
Mhm.
know, and if things never receive the proper help throughout their lives, even if they start young, and Stefan started young, not this, things started to happen when he was young. And
Mhm.
did he ever receive the right help? His mom is a piece of work. I'll go ahead and tell you that right now. And
Yeah.
mom is the old crazy lady who's deaf with the poodles. And, he still lived at home with mom and dad, and they did this. He's on his dad's registration for the vehicles. He's on his parents' cell phone plan.
I
Um,
wonder. I wonder how old his parents are.
they are in their, I believe they're 70s now. I may
And
be
how old is
wrong.
he again?
I think he's like, was he 40 something? I can't remember. I just had his birthday. What is he? He was born in 86. 412. I got the documents right here in front of us, y'all. His
Oh, so
DOB
he's in his
is
30s.
1986. Yeah, he's in his 30. How does that make him?
86 from 24. I'm not good with quick math.
I
I'm
know.
86,
How much? How old?
89,
36.
38.
Okay.
Okay, 38.
Well, hold on,
Yeah,
let me make sure. 89, 86, 38.
yeah.
I know
So
that
he's,
because we got married in 89. So,
there
yeah.
you go. He is 38 years old.
Okay.
And
So his 30. Okay. So his parents had him late in life.
yeah,
Um.
he wasn't born super, or they weren't super young. And his mom had like, all the, remember he told the officer about the story how he had to shovel the horse poop and he fell in.
Yeah. Yep.
His mom had horses when he was growing up, and
Mm,
she kept them at the certain place where you at the stalls. Um, there were people who knew him all around the stalls that he grew up with around the horse community and things of that nature. And then now his mom is like this damn poodle breeder. I don't know if she's still doing it right now, but she was doing it. According to Stefan, she still got the poodles. But there's a lot about his mom that's interesting. I'll say it that way. That I'm
mhm.
still working on some stuff that will come. I will come out here eventually. But been focused on getting through this stuff. But I've planned to. Yeah, I'm interested, Dago, because to me the psychological aspect of what can we learn from it, right?
Yeah.
As a way to look for these people or to educate about these types of people and what they're, because it's a whole thing with them. They don't just meet you at the corner one day, oh, like I'm going to get your child. They hone in on these people,
Right.
watch for them, they look for them, and Jennifer could have been an unwilling participant in the beginning.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
what happened? What happened? Did you do this on purpose because you were profiting all along? Or were you duped into this and so blinded by the time you realized what was going on, you just didn't want to fucking own it? I don't know.
This is so sick that I can almost see this. You know, her even knowing about this, having the conversation with him, and I can't help it, Jen. I just can't help it. I love you. I love her. I can't do it, and her falling for this and feeling bad for him. Okay,
Mhm.
this is such a disgusting scenario, you guys. I mean, there's so many options
He
that.
was telling the police that from the beginning too, Dago. Oh, so they
Yep.
were so happy I was coming back for a visit.
Yep.
Maddie was excited. They just love me.
I don't
Ugh.
want to hurt her. I'm not hurting her. I love her. Blah blah blah. One of these sickos like this and playing off of this, and Jen
Mhm.
being the type of person she seems to be coming off to be. I can see her falling for this. Like I said, this is so disgusting. It's beyond disgusting in my opinion. So I don't know,
See,
you
there,
guys.
Yeah.
there ain't a man walking make me serve my kid up on a silver platter.
Mm-mm.
Believe me, hun, there's a lot of people that are just so mentally detached from reality.
Yeah.
Because I'm like Doodle. He wouldn't make it to he
Nope.
wouldn't make it to the jail, and I'd be smiling in my
But
mugshot.
No.
unfortunately, there are a lot of mothers and fathers, parents out there who don't really pay any attention to those kids.
Nope. They don't.
Absolutely
It's a
don't pay
bother.
attention. And it's hard to wrap your head around something like that when I see it when I'm
Yeah.
out in public.
And
I
you
mean,
gotta wonder.
you
You gotta
do that.
wonder. Sorry. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
you're right. You because you see it. You see the stories out there. You see the things that are happening to these kids under their watchful eye of their parents,
And
who,
and
like Dago said, are detached and don't care or don't whatever. The
yes.
detached is probably the key word.
you know, and then you got to look back on Jen's childhood, how she was raised, the attention that she received, how she received it, and think about the fact that, you know, it's just all of those things are going to play into who she has become as an adult, as a mother. And in the beginning, we heard her talking about how her and Maddie fought and were fighting all the time and this and that. And there's something there. There's something more to this that I just can't quite put my finger on.
She
And
tells the cops that they had, or you know, they would have their arguments, but they hadn't had one recently.
Mhm.
You know, and the friend's statement in here we've already read that Maddie would argue with her mom a lot, and Kimber and I have even wondered, you know, did Maddie ever approach her mom and say
I
he's
have
doing
to.
something,
I,
and
I
her
really
say,
yes.
you know, and I even had a conversation with Dago about a jealousy
Yes.
type issue, because that's also documented things that can happen in these types of situations. You know, there's all kinds of aspects that could go into it, I guess.
It's so disgusting, and it's something that we, as decent people, don't want to process. We don't want to accept that
Yeah.
these things can happen because, you know, this is not the norm, guys. And when it's brought into our attention, brought up to our attention, it's just like, oh my God, that can't be, that can't be, that can't be, but it is. You know, that's
Yeah,
the sad thing. So
it is. It is sad. And I just hope I'm glad that he is off the fucking street. So that I hate that Maddie's life had to end the way that it did. But all I can think now is, you know, she is free
yes,
and she can finally be that little girl she wanted to be. And I just got, you know, more video of her that the last day or her birthday party, flailing around with her blue ribbons, you know, out the sun setting and the lake is there and it's Florida, and I know that sight, you know,
hmm
and that's the image that I want to remember of
that's it.
Maddie.
Yes, and the fact that
And
she had that
final
birthday
day,
party, that great
right?
day. Yes,
And
that's
that
how I.
night she was sent off to bed at 11 p.m. with this fucking monster that very night. And so I choose to see that as the last thing I want to remember how of Maddie. It's just
Yep,
I have it on my phone. It's right there, just like my Delphi image I have. It's they're there.
absolutely.
These victims mean everything because it is all about them,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
she's going to get the justice that she finally deserves. You know, so
And I gotta wonder if maybe, just maybe, this piece of garbage, very and I because it is a very high possibility, had other victims, and if they do, if he does, I just pray to God someday they're strong enough to come forward, and he is the justice is not just for Maddie, if that's the case, it's for everyone that has been hurt by this monster, and I pray to God that there aren't other victims. I'll say that, but I have a hard feeling that there are. Um,
Oh, I have a hard feeling that there are too, Dago, because I don't, I can't just, I can't wrap my head around the fact that Maddie was his first and only, as long as he abused Maddie and as
that's it
evil
right
as he
there.
was, as long as he abused her. And I mean, just like the roommate, him sticking the camera up under the roommate's door. I
He's a
can't believe,
predator. He's a
right,
predator. That's
he's
it.
a predator, and I can't wrap my head around that she was the only one. So,
It's
I
very
don't know.
hard to accept that. If that turns out to be the case, then thank God and God bless. Okay, but it's hard for me to think that that is the only victim he's had,
The
and
one
it's horrible to me.
the one thing good in all of this, since Florida has enacted that law, I do think that I don't think there will be a whole lot of appeals and appeals. I think that once the sentence is given, once the DP is done, that I think that justice will be swift, because I do believe that Florida will make an example out of him. What do you think, Salty?
yeah, they're not backing down. He'll get his due process with the appeals process, but it won't go anywhere unless they will. Okay, let me rephrase that. They are going to probably try to challenge the death penalty
Of
in
course.
this case. It's already been brought forth one time. That guy ended up taking a plea bargain, but they were set to challenge the death penalty
I'll
as
be right back.
unconstitutional because
Okay.
the United States Constitution doesn't agree with Florida on this new law. So, unfortunately, so we're going to have to wait and see, but we're hoping that it's not significantly challenged due to the nature of the charges. You know what I mean? Who wants to be that asshole to go up against this? But
Exactly.
they will, because that's what attorneys do. So I won't be surprised if there are appeals coming down. I doubt they challenge the death penalty while this is at trial. I don't know if they will or not, but I haven't seen anything yet in the filings. I'll have to go double check, but nothing's come down yet that they're going to try to challenge it at this point. So it probably will be on appeal, but I don't know how far it'll get yet. All depends on the Supreme Court rulings.
Well, hopefully it won't be something that goes on for years and years. I'm hoping that it's swift once it's done. I hope the appeals are swift. And
Well, even if he didn't have any appeals and he just went straight to prison, sit there on death row, he's going to sit there 25 years. More than likely, you usually sit there at least that long in Florida before they go on and do it. It's not usually, within a year. You sit there for a hot minute. So it could take years before he's actually put to death, because they do give you the time, under you got those rights. Everybody has those rights, got to protect them. So, yeah, it's not usually, you won't be right away.
yeah, God forbid. I'm so glad they're protecting his rights. Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
You live in North Pole, right?
Yeah, I split my time between the two.
Is that on
places.
Snug Street?
Snug Street?
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. You have a lot of Snug Street on here.
Yeah, I split my time between the two.
Is that Broward County or?
Sarasota County, I
Sarasota,
believe,
okay.
or Charlotte County, either way.
Gotcha.
It's my parents' house. They're old and they need help these days. And they got a house full of poodles, and it's chaos. So I needed to come back up here and just get away from that.
Oh, boo
Between
fucking
two
who.
deaf old people yelling at each other and poodles yapping all the time, it's enough to drive anyone up a wall.
I had to go find them damn poodles, y'all. Sorry.
This guy is such a, excuse my language. He
Like a
is such
crybaby.
a crybaby bitch. He is a crybaby ass bitch. That's all he is.
You're right. He is such a fucking crybaby.
Grow a set, bro. If this guy had any humanity in him whatsoever, they would not challenge the death penalty. He would plead guilty, take your fucking punishment, and move on in life, bro. Hopefully next time you come back, you're normal, if you believe in that kind of stuff. Other than that, enjoy life in hell. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Because that's all you get out of me. That's all you get out of me.
He's such a whiner. Everything was about him. He didn't get to sleep. He hasn't eaten. He's been worried.
I'm cold. Can I have a blanket?
Cold. Oh my God. He was so cold. My parents are old and deaf and the poodles, and I had to go back to see Jen and what? Everything, you whiny ass. Like, that's even putting it nice. I could get real nasty and call him some really bad names, but
Y'all, there was a lawyer here in Nashville that killed his wife. His name was Perry Marsh. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the case. But he killed his wife, Janet. They've still never found her body. And he has bitched about the prison food. He's bitched about everything.
good Lord.
Yeah, he's a whiner.
People
He
have
looks like a whiner.
all. They have
We're going to
all.
wrap it up in just a minute. I want to show y'all something real quick. That's like a 6-second little cute thing. Doodlebug sent me these two pieces of art, and I used them. So here we go. Let me show y'all real quick.
I love it. She's awesome at these.
Isn't that
She's
cool?
very good.
Yeah, she's been.
The swamp signal. I had to put that on there when I saw that gator.
She's gotten really good at these graphics. I guess that's what I've been calling them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
What time
good.
are you going back live, Dago?
Yeah. What time, Dago?
About an hour and a half tops.
Yeah, I'm gonna join a live here at 8:15. And sit in on that for a little bit, and check that out. And then I'll jump over there for a while. We're gonna wrap it up with this one. On page 370. I have to write that down so I'll know where to start next time.
Who else is going live?
Okay, the reason I had to change my name was because there was another account called True Crime Time,
Oh
but
yeah.
he hadn't been around for like a really long time. I was telling you, that I noticed he came back, and I was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's been holding a couple of lives, and they're Idaho 4, but
Mhm.
they're not the typical Idaho 4 talks that I'm used to hearing.
Gotcha.
So I do enjoy them, but I did notice he's going to have Drunk Turkey on there, and I feel some kind of way about him, but I can bypass my way. I tolerate Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers to you, Daniel. I made a TikTok on you, buddy, and he
Mhm.
knows it. But anyway, it is what it is, but it's a interesting topic, so I wanted to go check out the topic and see if there was anything to it out of curiosity.
Is it
What-
True Crime Time ASMR or just True Crime
No,
Time?
not that one. Let me see, Dago.
The evidence against Brian Koberger from 3 weeks ago.
No, this guy has got. Let me look. It's Notes from Montana is the headline, or the whatever you call it. His not.
Oh yeah. I found it.
Did
Okay.
you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
He did a live a few weeks ago, and Dolphin was in there. Firefly, I think, came in as well. And I watched him do a live. I think he was guest on Drunk Turkey like a week ago. I watched a little bit of that, and I noticed this live's going to be happening, and I was intrigued because of the headline. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to go check it out.
All right.
Already hashtag Lolo, Montana.
Yep. That's interesting for sure because I'm curious to see what you got to talk about, buddy. I will
you
probably.
If Twizzle comes in sideways, we just laugh at him and we play along. It's all
Of
good.
Of course. I'll probably slide in there too and check it out.
What is it?
I'm always.
What? I'm sorry, Kimber. What was
What
that?
is it? True Crime Time?
Yeah,
Okay.
not True Crime Time ASR though. It is a different. It's just called True Crime Time. His at is True Crime Time 007 double
Okay.
07.
Okay.
He doesn't do drama. He doesn't go hang out on other panel. He's like stays to himself kind of guy. He just talks.
Right.
And we kind of just listen and we chat and he interacts a little bit. I think he's kind of shy a little bit.
Mhm.
But he's just a normal dude talking true crime.
There you go.
So I'm still feeling him out. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
I'm always interested
liking
in
what I see
hearing-
so far.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in hearing somebody else's, especially
Right.
if you're. I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'm probably gonna get smacked for this, but I've been watching a lot of pro Koberger being guilty shows
Mhm.
and just following because I'm always been both sides. I want to hear it, but more lately that Brian's guilty. I want to hear what people are saying besides Daniel because Daniel's always said the same damn thing, but.
Well, Daniel's always took his stance from the beginning
Yes.
and went down the guilty, and then there's been a whole bunch that have went down the innocent, and I've always tried to remain straight down the damn middle with it.
Same
And
here.
it was very hard, and I've even made it, I'm nervous to even do an Idaho 4 stream, I'll be honest with you, because my way will probably be like this guy's way, because that's
Yeah.
not, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about, and you couldn't for a while. It was okay
No.
to talk about everything, but even stuff we had receipts on, nobody wanted you to talk about.
And they won't accept true facts because they just don't want to believe it.
It's not blaming him, and it's not saying this guy's guilty. We're just looking at a profile of what's legitimately out there on this person, facts as we know them, and that was not even acceptable to do. Like, I'm not going to be the reason that, because I go talk about it, I'm not the reason he won't get a fair trial.
No.
Are you joking?
Yep, that is facts. That's facts.
It's okay to talk about all these other cases, and we don't know where that's if they get fair trials or not, but we can't talk about this one because he might not. If I know, I'm not accepting that any longer.
I
So,
agree.
Rational conversations should be acceptable no matter what. And we actually had a good one in here the other night. JC was here with us, and she come up on panel, and we were discussing Howard Bloom's book
Hmm.
and the things that were in there, and how we felt about this certain things, and we were able to have a really good conversation.
JC's
Yeah.
a sweet lady, sweet girl.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she's very smart.
Yes,
She's very
yes.
smart. I enjoy having good conversations with her about the case. And she had questions, I had questions. We saw things a little differently, and then we kind of like work, but it was conversation.
That's
And
why
that's
I
all that
like
matters.
JC, because she knows how to disagree respectfully. If she has questions, she will ask instead of just assuming. She's a good person. I really like JC a lot.
Yeah, and Dago, you and I have seen things very differently in this case.
Absolutely.
But we've been able
Absolutely.
to sit and have very long talks about what we feel about this case as well.
It's because
And I think,
we have something that a lot of people do not have and refuse to have for each other, and that's respect.
this is true. And
That's
dude,
a huge problem.
yeah, yeah, I'm not even gonna. I just need to digress on that whole subject right there, right now. So
Yep.
I will.
I don't like none of you. What y'all want?
We know that Kimberfoot, you old heifer.
Yep.
Heifer.
You gotta
need to
be
make-
able to
I need
respect
to
each
make a
other.
Kimber heifer banner. Yeah, you just
Timber
respect
heifer
is
banner.
always there. You got to have respect, and just and do things the right way, and try to, and just be nice. And no,
Be
JC,
nice. Gosh.
be nice.
Oh,
We're not always nice. Some of us can just, you can't help it. There's going to be
Oh.
times I done told Dago I'm probably going to lose my shit at least once in a live stream. I'm not sure that your live stream, if you don't do it at least once, right? I don't know.
That's
Depends on
true.
what buttons get pushed. I don't want my buttons to get pushed. I'm trying not to let that happen, but trust me, it probably will happen one day.
It's taken a lot for me to
you are
get
not
there, but
hateful. You're
I've
the
even done
least hateful person I know.
Doodlebug,
Oh.
shut up. You're hateful. What a joke. There's JC right there.
There's
Yeah.
JC.
Yeah.
So, like I said, she's such a sweet person. She really is. I adore her.
Yes, wisdom, they sure do. Conversations get you further than arguing.
The
why I
conversation.
That's
And
why
she-
I just run by Dago's Discord, send him a private message, yell at him, and boom, I'm gone. I don't give him time to yell back.
Well, thank you, Drifty. We try.
Mhm.
We do. I'm nice to a fault, unfortunately, because
Yes, you are, but it's okay. It's
Uh-huh.
okay.
We
I'm a little
respect
too
you.
hard sometimes. Dago's like the soft to my hard, and I'm the hard to his soft.
That's how Dago and I are, because I'll go by and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, and I'm like, I don't want to hear it.
No, well,
But-
it is what it is. It is what it is.
But he respects me for it, and I respect him for being too soft. So, and at the end of the day, I still love the old so and so.
Like I said, folks, I'm that way. I can be both ways. I have been, and I've said before, I do not want to show people that side of me, because
exactly.
I can be and have been. You guys have never seen me wholeheartedly, fully angry. Saying a little F word here or there, or dropping an F bomb, whatever you want to call it, this and that ain't nothing. I have, and I sit on it very well, a very bad temper. If that fuse is lit and it burns down, no, I refuse to be that person. That's my control, because when I start going, I may not stop, and I don't want to do that. So
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing, Dago. I got that devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, and I don't want that devil one to take control, because it's not pretty.
agreed.
I don't
Yes.
like it, and you've seen it,
Yes.
My temper-
Yes,
or
My
you've heard
temper-
it. I should say you've heard it when we've
I
talked.
have
but-
heard it. I
And
have.
I don't like doing that. I hate getting that to that energy level, But
My
I hear
temper's a
things-
lot better
I
than
hear
it
things
used to
that
be.
bother me. I do hear things that bother me, and I
Of course.
will say things when I need to or feel like I should. But coming on these, going after each other is, I don't understand what we're doing here.
There's
So,
nothing to gain
The
out
true
of it.
crime, reporting what we see, staying in our lanes, doing our thing. It's
That's
like right
it.
now I can't, I'm not bitching. I'm not like Gray Hughes. I don't have any views, but it's weird that when you're actually in the true crime genre and in the community and you're hosting a true crime and you're talking about different cases or whatnot, and you, how do you get the audience? You know,
Mm-hmm.
the actual true crime audience will come, and that's the way I
Mm-hmm.
got to look at it. You know,
That's
just
very
build
true,
build from
JC.
there. They will come, because do I really want to attract anybody but that?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
agree with you. I do. And
so
yes, JC, you're correct as
slow
well.
build. Yeah,
I
And I only get vicious with Dago, and he understands. I'm just looking out for. I just look out for him.
I don't get vicious with Dago unless I'm really highly pissed about something and I'm just venting,
Well,
or like, I've never had. I don't. I just be like, dude, we just.
I don't get vicious with him. I mean, I don't like, no, never. I just try. I
I'm
just
not.
try
Yeah.
to protect my Dago.
I've been yelled at by a lot of you guys for whatever reasons, and I just
I can,
Usually it's for being too nice.
I squeeze out the sponge and I absorb more, and then I squeeze it out again and move on because
sometimes
I know.
Dago's got so.
usually-
But sometimes Dago's got so many people coming at him, telling him at the same time to stop being nice.
Sometimes
And
it's just
I'm
because
aware,
you're
so I
too
try
nice.
not to. I know when to leave Dago alone and when to
Yeah, I
ask
do
a
too.
question.
I do too. Sometimes I just
I try to
boom,
know. I
go.
don't want to. I got to give him his space, man. If I can tell.
There's
But he's
quite a
got a
few of
great
you.
community. You cultivated a great community, Dago, and some
I've
great people around you and your mod team and
yes,
everything. And they do care, and everybody cares. And that's the thing. Like I was saying in the chat earlier today when I popped back in, it's community there, you know.
Mhm.
And and I told you a year ago that core community
Yep,
has always been there and always will be, and no matter what. And
for
each
good and
time,
bad. Yes,
right?
That's
Each
fact, and
time
that's
you look down at that chat, you're going to see that same core community every single time.
and I've said time and time and time again, and I'm not trying to toot my horn, guys. I'm very, very proud of the fact that I was able to attract and bring together so many different types of people into this one community and keep growing it for what it is, and it stays like the core people. I've seen so many different people bounce around to different channels and go to different channels. I don't like this, I don't like that, this, that, and everything else. To have these, we were talking about a little bit today, specific people that have been here for 2 years solidly, no matter what has happened, that says something to me, and that means a lot to me to be able to build this. And I didn't build this community myself. You guys helped and were a big part of this as well, so that's very important to know. So it
I
is.
just had my 3-month anniversary with you, so I guess I'm going to keep coming around.
Well, I mean, I won't lift your arm if you don't want me to.
You know I'm going to keep
That's up to
coming
you.
around, you big goofball.
Oh,
I know, I'm just
goodness.
teasing.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to need a fresh cup of coffee and step outside for a minute, get some fresh air, smoke a cigarette, do all the things I shouldn't be doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. As always, great read.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming in.
Good time, Salty.
We're going to be doing another show on Sunday. I'm going to be getting that stuff together. I'm going to be starting some Delphi stuff, Dago, and we got to get together on that. I got something to show you. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I do have some things coming up planned. I'm kind of trying to go live, a few nights a week, trying to get our groove on here and get a schedule going. But we will be back soon. But I'm going to wrap it up for tonight and let you get prepared for your show later.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'll come back for that as well. I'm
Awesome.
going to jump into this other live for a little bit, but you guys go check out this stream if you're interested in a different take. If you're like Dago, if you've consumed or have watched a lot of this in one way. I like to look at both sides as well, Dago.
Yeah.
I have, for a year I looked at all the other things in this case, but I also have to look at what's actually there as well.
Absolutely.
So, both things. We don't know nothing until we get to that damn courtroom and it all comes flying out like solo cups.
Those are facts. Those are facts.
Lord help us all. Well, thank you, FARQ. That's so fucking fun to say. I do cuss. Everybody here knows I already be cussing all the damn time.
Have a good, wonderful night. everybody that I don't see tonight, but I probably will see most of you. So thank you guys
Yeah, yeah,
for
I'm sure.
supporting this awesome channel, guys. Keep it up, and I can't thank you enough, Salty, for doing what you do. I love listening to you read these, and I love the way we stop and question it and go back to it. It's great stuff, and thank you again.
Well, thank you. We're trying to just power through a lot of them. If we've read them, we're just gonna go on past what we've read and try to get to some new. We got a bunch of cell phone data coming up later, and the car images they had. It's crazy what all they had on this guy. So
Yeah,
we'll get through it in pieces. I don't want to overwhelm everybody with a super lengthy one about it each time. So I'm breaking it down, plus trying to put other things into the stream, like a separate stream, like our Sunday stream we're doing, and get more of that going as well as continue this, so I do appreciate all you coming. I really, really do. It means a lot. We're growing. We'll get there. But yeah, it means the world that you all come in and support. Maddie. Like I said, a lot of you got into this case with me in the beginning, with day one with Dago, and we watched everything that was playing out in this case all the way up till she was found, and then the arrest was made, and we've all been waiting to see what happened from there, and then all these documents came down. So, just kind of following it through to the end. So we appreciate you coming for sure. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later over there in Dago's. Have a good night.
Good night, y'all. See y'all soon.